This is Kenneth Wong, Senior Editor for DE 24/7. Welcome to another episode of DE Podcast. This episode is sponsored by ESTECO, part of the Leadership Profile series. Today we are talking to Carlo Poloni, the president of ESTECO. Carlo, welcome. Would you mind saying a few words about your background and how long you've been in the industry?
I'm Carlo Poloni. I'm professor at the University of Trieste, and at the same time, I'm co-founder of ESTECO. I'm connected with this area, with this business, or better, the business of decision support for simulation engineers, let's say, since 20 years. Well, even more, I would say, since I was a young researcher developing algorithms for design optimization, for multidisciplinary design optimization. But after that, we have founded and grown the company so far, and I think we are rather known today worldwide for our products.
All right. Thank you very much, Carlo. Now, what are the most notable simulation trends that you noticed in the last 2 to 3 years? What's been happening in the industry?
The general trends is, I would say, was exactly in the directions of our development over the years. When at the very beginning we were starting of using simulation for designing components was something very rare, I would say. While nowadays, this I would say is the major trend. So simulation is not any longer a method for verifying what went wrong, but as becoming something to predict performance and therefore take decisions before building components. I think that this was a dream till a few years ago. But in the recent years, I think that this becomes a reality.
How do these trends affect the way you develop your products, your R&D research initiatives?
It moved at the very beginning, we were developing algorithms for doing the optimization part. So we were talking with a few very specialized people in their R&D in the companies. They were very focused on what they were doing. So somewhat they were part of our same community. Then this developed over the years, and what was necessarily requested was a much better communication of the performance of what we were doing. So the automation process and what is connected with that. And the audience of people using our tools became less and less discipline specific. So considering different aspects, either in their design process or less expert in the design optimization issues, optimization algorithms themselves, but more interested in the final results because typically they were having an impact in the product. And this had made evolve our products, moving from, first of all, from a desktop solution to something which is integrated with the company infrastructure. Which means that it is not any longer a tool available, well, it continues to be available on the desk of a single engineer, but is part of a process. So made available to multiple people that are collaborating. So we moved from Mode Frontier to the Volta platform in our offering. But even more, nowadays, we see that an important trend is in the directions of doing that in a formal way. What does it mean, formal way? It means that you have tasks that need to be executed. Sometimes has to be executed by different individuals inside a company, different roles inside a company. And this has to be managed because, the very big difference is that while in the past, the simulation engineer was somewhat a genius in a corner solving difficult tasks that nobody else would understood. Nowadays, it is as it is part of the designing components, it means that has to fit with the milestone in the delivery, with the executions of the different simulations, the competence, the validations of each of the component that being simulated in the process. And this requires a standard, and in that has definitely shaped our product into that direction. Nowadays, we do offer business process modeling and notation standard inside our workflows, which means that you may think of connecting the processes of designing things also with processes in the finance, if needed. In a connected company, it is more and more interesting to think that your design actions as a consequence in the production cost or as a consequence in the market even. So that may need the handling of the design process as a business process as well. And this is definitely shaping what we are doing, because this is introducing connectivity, the possibility of running hybrid workflows, which are running partially locally, partially on a cloud, in a public cloud sometimes, not only in a private cloud. So the heterogeneity of the environment in terms of people and infrastructure is what is definitely shaping our product, and which is, I mean, it's changing the way we design things.
A lot of the vendors like to talk about democratizing simulation, which means, of course, making simulation much more accessible to general design engineers. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's in the trends in, and I'm sorry to say that, but it's mainly brought in by the large CAD vendors. Was that simulation had to be in the hands of the CAD designer, I mean, which is a different task. I mean, it's you would never have. Well, I'm not saying which one is more important. I'm just saying it's a different task. So thinking that doing simulation simple and let's say simplifying the content of a simulation, I think it has failed. Because I mean, if you the simplified version of the software, well, yes, it's fine, it's used, but it's used in very preliminary. It doesn't have really a business impact. However, if democratization meaning is to make the most sophisticated simulation available as an information to other parties, that is the goal to reach. What will work is a well-defined, certified, verified model, which is made available to third parties. That, to my opinion, is the true democratization, and that's the way we are going.
Thank you very much for being part of the Leadership Profile series. We appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
Thank you very much. I mean, it was a pleasure to be interviewed and to be part of desktop engineering, which is, after all, a reference point for all the people in our community.
I appreciate that. Until next time, this is Kenneth Wong for DE 24/7 podcast series, and we are out.